Exclamation, everybody. Welcome back to Sunday Ramblings in Cube World. From the last episode, I returned to the city here, and I've got my equipment squared away. I've taken the epic bow out for a minute here to look at the purple one that I picked up and see how that works out. I don't know. You see, it's got some different stats, a little bit less tempo, but it's got some regen on it. The silver amulet I have on. This is one that I just crafted. I got a recipe for it. And what else? Oh, this armor here. I got this linen chest armor picked up. Still not high enough level to use the purple armor that I picked up from some other drop along the way. I don't even remember where. I just had it set aside in my inventory. And some of the other armor pieces here as well. I got a couple purples around here, and the rest you're not going to be able to see because I can't see them either. They're off the screen. You see my guy is up to 65 power now, and I'm a weapon rating of 75% and armor of 108%. So we're doing pretty good here. I finally went through. I'm level 38 now. There were a couple things I wanted to do. I wanted to, first of all, I want to go look at some of these quest markers here and see what trouble I can get into. Also, as promised, I am in the snow biome. I traveled here off camera. I did level one level along the way, just from fighting random mobs. I didn't go anywhere else. Just basically came straight here. What else is there? Yeah, I decided to look on the wiki, which is the first time I looked on it in a long time, the Cube World wiki, to find out what those snow or ice flowers were. And it turns out, or how to use them if I could use them. It turns out that they give you heart flowers. Yeah, I can't take any more iron nuggets. They give you heart flowers if you take them to a campfire and thaw them off. So I've done that off camera. Well, this guy is stuck in the... I'll help you out, guy. You are stuck. Also, something else that I remember finding before, but forgot all about it. You've probably noticed from time to time, if you've seen my inventory, that I've been carrying around a lot of formulas. And I completely forgot that you have to actually right-click on them to add them to your crafting menu. So yeah, all this time I thought I was actually, I was kind of wondering why I wasn't gaining access to certain things, and then I picked up one of those purple formulas that I noticed the last episode, and I noticed that it wasn't showing up. It was for the necklace thing, that it wasn't showing up in my crafting menu. And then that's when I looked it up again and realized that, yeah, all this time I've been carrying these formulas around, and really I should have been right-clicking on them to add them to my menus. So there's that. Learning something new all the time here. Also, some more Cube World stuff. News came out. There is Wale tweeted a picture of a new biome that he's working on. It's the people on Reddit have called it a Deadlands for now. I don't think he actually has an official name for it yet. But essentially, it's as a few of the snarkier ones have pointed out, it's a palette swapped forest where it's just a normal forest biome, but gloomy and doomy. And all the mobs that appear there are going to be undead. So you could call it Deadlands, call it Undead Forest, whatever you'd like to call it. So that's pretty cool. It's nice to see new content on its way, along with some of the other information we got about the being able to rebind the keys, which will be awesome for me, and also the UI tweaks to do the UI resizing, which would help out tremendously with what I was just showing you with my inventory there, not being able to read half of it. So that'll be great. I can't wait. Cannot wait for any of that to come out. So that's that so far. I should point out, what day is it? Today is Saturday, of course. Saturday night, November the 30th, according to my handy dandy computer calendar here, although I swear I was in December right now, but we'll let that one ride. I guess Sunday would be December 1st. All right, whatever. So you'll be seeing this in December. I am currently still in November as I record this. The magic of YouTube. So, oh yeah, here's the campfire I was talking about, and I have to find the ice flowers in my inventory here somewhere. I don't know what category they're under. Here? No, it doesn't look like it. Just life potions. Oh, here we go. Heart flowers. See, I could take those ice flowers I picked up and I can craft them into heart flowers. Figure I'd show you this while I'm on camera here. Also, speaking of on camera, I am trying something a little bit new this time around as far as recording goes. I mentioned in a previous episode, oh, this guy's gonna, yep. You will not sneak up on me, sir. Not at all. Suck it. Yeah, I mentioned in a previous episode that I had downloaded or bought and downloaded DxTory. I did that mostly to try to record the Memory of Eldarim to see if that would help. It hasn't, unfortunately. I've been wanting so badly to record that because it is a very, very beautiful game. I just can't, you know, my computer just will not do it. Like, I can play it just fine. I cannot record it at any respectable rate, though. So I decided, since I downloaded it, I've been trying to test it a little bit on a few things, you know, just little test recordings, a few minutes here and there, and been having a dickens of a time with it. It wasn't really recording at all. Well, it was recording, but it wasn't recording at a decent frame rate. I mean, I couldn't get 30 frames per second, which is crazy because I was testing it in like Minecraft and stuff, which perhaps handles just fine, and DxTory was not having anything to do with it. So I looked around a little bit and ended up downloading the Lagarith codec, which I meant to download anyway to test out. It's a lossless codec. It's supposed to be, you know, the bee's knees as far as compression goes. Although I've compared it with the Fraps normal raw stuff, and Fraps seems to win out, at least initially, my initial tests. Size-wise, that is. Maybe not quality-wise, but size-wise. So I was having those problems. I downloaded that Lagarith codec, and it turns out that DxTory is actually quite good, as long as you don't try to record in the DxTory video codec. Your guess is as good as mine. You figure that one out, because I can't figure that one out. But essentially, once I downloaded that and installed the other codec, it now records respectably. It's 30 frames per second and everything else. My only complaint is that I have to keep, and I'm recording right now, Cube World with it. So this is my sort of test, my good test here. So hopefully everything works out okay, because I intend to record for quite a while here. This will be an extended episode because I have a lot to cover. Man, I've got a whole parade of guys following me here. Hey guys, just follow me. I'm all over the place right now as far as my mind goes. I'm trying to get all these guys killed and also stay on topic, stay on target. So yeah, this will be my first good test of it. My complaint was that, see, the reason people like DxTory is because it doesn't slow down your actual frame rate that you're recording at, or I'm sorry, the frame rate that you're playing the game at. It just has a recording rate and a regular frame rate, so it usually doesn't affect your normal frame rate like Fraps would. You know, Fraps will actually reduce you to 20 frames per second if you're having issues, you know. The problem with that is I see the benefits to it, but the problem with it is that I can't tell when the game itself is lagging unless I look up at the corner and see what frame rate it's actually recording at. Not a big deal for most games, but you know, when you have an open world procedurally generated game like this, a lot of times if you see that it's lagging, you can just stop running for a moment and let the game sort of catch up and let all that lag go, whatever's causing it. Let it pass and then continue. But because I can't tell that anymore, I have to keep looking up in the corner every so often to make sure that everything's okay. I mean, right now it's locked at 30, so it seems like everything's fine, but hopefully it doesn't lag out too much for you guys. That's cool. So I'll probably start using that a little bit more. I have nothing against Fraps. I like Fraps a lot. It's just I want to give it a good shake out and see what, you know, people keep. A lot of YouTubers rave about it, and I'm just trying to figure out what the hell they're raving about as far as DxTory goes. No offense to anyone. It's just that's what I just want to really test it out. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I off camera on my way over here, I tamed this penguin guy. I haven't named him yet because I have to figure out what I actually want to name him. But I'm trying to level him up a little bit if I can, because you see he's very low level compared to all the other pets that I have. But I thought, yeah, you know, I could use a badass penguin. I mean, I know it doesn't really fit with the whole wood elf theme, but you know, if I saw a wood elf with a penguin mauling somebody's face out, I'd you know, I'd fear him. I think he's badass. So okay, so that covers the the technical aspects of what's been going on. Some other things that I've been working on, and you should see this video today along with this video going up. I've been playing Adventure Dungeon, or I played a little bit of it, about half an hour or so. I only recorded about 15 minutes. But that's a nice little free web game, well, downloadable game from the web. One developer's been working on for quite a while. Winter Drake, I believe, is the person's name. And they downloading a ton. I mean, updating it a ton, I should say. Downloading, updating it the game quite often. In fact, it's already up to version 1.1, and when I was recording it had already been up to 0.93, and I was a little bit earlier version than that even. So lots and lots of updates, lots of work being done on that. it's a fun little game, roguelike, you know, Zelda in the Zelda theme. And Zelda and Binding of Isaac a little bit both. Can't really say one anymore without the other. So that's a neat little thing, you know, if you're looking for something to kill a little bit of time, and you're into roguelikes, you know, you should go check that out. Go download it. I'll leave links in this video as well as in the other video that I actually made of it. So now, let's before I talk more about some of the other things I've been working on, let's go through the Kickstarter roundup here, because there's a lot going on and a lot of things, a lot of developments, and I want to at least get through them because there's been a couple Kickstarters on here that I've had listed on in my notepad here for quite some time, and I still haven't gotten around to them because I keep running out of time. So I want to get through it first. So first of all, we'll update you on the Mandate Kickstarter. Probably tired of hearing me rave about it by now, but it looks really cool and it's very, very ambitious. And to that end, they have actually passed their funding goal. Actually, more than surpassed it. Now we're working on some stretch goals. They're up to $625,141 as of, you know, a few minutes ago when I checked it out. They were originally raising $500,000, so they've well surpassed that goal, that initial goal. They're in their last 30 hours now, so by the time this goes out, there will be about 12 hours or so left, I imagine. So now we're sort of working on the stretch goals, and one of the stretch goals that's already been hit is the $550,000 goal, where they basically reduce the level at which you can get digital add-ons. So if you put $100 or more in, then you now get the upgraded digital add-ons that you would have gotten from a higher tier. So that's pretty cool. There's another one in the middle here too that we're almost at, but I haven't written it down what number it was. I think it was 650,000 is the next one, where it reduces to $50 and above. You get all the digital add-ons and stuff that the higher tiers got. At $600,000, which they surpassed, we're getting away missions on planets now, which is pretty damn cool. I mean, as if the game wasn't ambitious enough to begin with, now we're getting some away missions, which is going to make it all the more sweet, in my opinion. And now, if in the next 30 hours they can raise $700,000, which, I mean, given how much they've done now and how quickly they've done it in the last week or so, I don't put it past them. But if we can get to that $700,000 tier, we get starbase boarding operations. I mean, right now you can dock at starbases, but you can't normally do any boarding operations, take them over. So that'll be really awesome if we could get to that tier, because I mean, that's everything you'd ever want in a space game right there, almost. So that's awesome. And just as a refresher on that, that is a was it a RPG space combat, focusing on your crew and on the story, and it's set in like a Russian, like, Tsarist kind of atmosphere. So the visuals and everything look really cool. There's a couple like preview builds out there, not builds, but preview gubbins out there that give you sort of an idea of what the story is like and what kind of decisions you can make and those kinds of things, as well as a starship builder which actually shows off some of the damage effects where you can blast holes in other ships. So that's cool. You might want to go check that out. Of course, I will leave the links as usual in the description. The Memory of Eldorim. Now this game just got a huge update. I think I mentioned it last time. But I was just able to this week actually download it and download the update, that is, and take a look at the game again. And good Lord, it is just a beautiful looking game. I mean, seriously beautiful. Like the landscaping and stuff. There's some iffiness with some of the art assets, which is why they were doing the whole Kickstarter in the first place, is to get some good artists on board for some of their art assets. But the actual environment, the terrain, the water effects, I mean, they're using the Crytek engine, Crytek 3 engine, or CryEngine 3, or whatever the hell that's called anymore. I'm losing track of my engine names. Apparently one of the only indie games to actually score a Crytek license to use their engine. So that's an additional little nugget of information there. I've been trying for weeks to record it. Again, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, my rig is not sufficient. Like, I can play the game at 120 frames per second, but as soon as I go to record, it's right back down to 10 frames per second. I don't know why. It's on a separate hard drive. It's just like any other game on my computer. It just, as soon as I hit that record button, it tanks. I have not been able to figure it out. I've tried tweaking a few settings. I've tried changing the in-game options down to like medium instead of very high, and still nothing. I don't want to set the options down too low because it is actually, I would be doing the game a disservice because it is so beautiful. I mean, there's like a tower when you come into the game now. You're on a cliffside, and the water, you're overlooking the water, and it's just terrific. I mean, from a visual perspective at least. The gameplay is still a little bit, still a little rough around the edges, but I mean, it's nothing that can't be fixed. You know what I mean? But their Kickstarter, struggling mightily. I don't know that they will, unless they get a nice, huge kick in the pants, they're not going to be able to hit their goal, I think. They're at $25,643, which isn't changed much since the last time I looked at them. The last time I think it was only 20 grand. Out of the 150,000 that they're looking for, and they've only got 7 days left. So here's hoping that they get that final boost that they need to hit their mark, because I really want to see that beautiful of an action RPG game, I mean, just come to life. It's one of those games where even if the mechanics of the game aren't that great, I would just sit in it and run around and do nothing. If it, I'd become an RPG trader, a merchant, just going from town to town just because it's so beautiful looking, the game. So if you're into that, just might want to go pop over, take a look at it. They actually have a video up on their site of the game, so you can, instead of having to download it, there is a free version to download. But if you don't have the space or you don't have the time, there is a video up there that they've posted. Love to know how they got the video to work. I'm assuming that they have better rigs than I do. So there's that. Also, I think I mentioned this last week, I believe. I have some things checked off here, but I want to mention again, just an update. Tiny Trek is a 2D 8-bit spritey um, open world. Well, do I want to call it an open world? It's not really open world, but it's an episodic type of in air quotes type of game. It's it's a take on the whole Star Trek type of thing, um, without actually being Star Trek. And the idea is you don't play missions, you play like these procedurally generated episodes that are supposed to be between 3 to 8 minutes long, um, where you're a starship captain and you're doing whatever a starship captain needs to do, be it an away mission or otherwise. They had, and that last time I looked at them, they had already surpassed their, I believe, they had already surpassed their Kickstarter goal of $4,000, which is very, very easy to hit goal nowadays. And they're up to $5,500 now out of that $4,000, and they still have 21 days left. They've updated with some. They have a few updates. There's a first build, a battle build, coming out, or actually is out right now. I just haven't downloaded it yet. For backers anyway. I think it's just for backers. To take a look at how the battle mechanics are going to go. Apparently, it's going to be. There's customizable weapons for your ship, and it's going to be sort of a dice roll type of generated weapon dealio, which sounds interesting. I have to really dig into it a little bit more. I didn't quite understand what was being said there, so I have to actually see it for myself to see what it looks like. But this build is the very first build that he's brought out, and it's just to showcase some of the battle system and that, again, aforementioned weapon crafting generation system. Some of the stretch goals that they have up there at $6,000, we're going to get more robust editing tools to create custom episodes, custom assets in the game. So if they can hit the $6,000 goal, which they're only $500 away from, that'll be pretty awesome. And then the $8,000 goal, stretch goal, that is, a server-based content sharing, where essentially you'll be able to, based on that editing tools that you got at $6,000, you'll be able to take your custom content and share it with other people over using, a central server to go share it out there, rather than having to do sort of a manual process, I imagine. That'd be kind of cool. So, you're into that, I would go check out the Kickstarter for it. There's a video there of sort of what to expect, because it's one of those games that it's difficult for me to explain it. There are other games like it in the past. There have been other games like it. I can't remember any of the names of them. But they're sort of like it and they're sort of not. So it's one of those things you just want to look at it first and see if it's, because the art style is again 8-bit, NES generation type of deal. So go check that out. Another Kickstarter update here. Approaching Infinity, something else I talked about last episode. That is a roguelike, top-down spaceship simulator type of deal. I gotta stop saying type of deal because I keep saying that, and it's just another one of those things that I keep catching myself doing, and then I go to edit and I start to drive myself nuts because I have to listen to this whole thing again, as I say, type of deal 500 times. So if it drives you crazy, it drives me even more crazy because it's stuff that I'm trying to stop. So it's I've downloaded and I've played a little bit of it. I'm going to record it at some point. I have to get around to it. It's so many things on my plate right now. I'm just trying to get through a lot of this stuff, and I have thankfully a vacation, nice long vacation coming up at the end of the year, or the end of this month, I should say, where I intend to do quite a lot of catching up on stuff, because there's a few things coming out this month that I've been waiting for, which I'm going to get to in a minute. But anyway, back to Approaching Infinity. It's roguelike, permadeath. You go on away missions. It's a there's a game that was like it, and he cites it on his Kickstarter page, and I don't remember. I have it written down somewhere, but trying to actually read it and flip pages and keep playing the game is a little bit more difficult than you might think. Of course, I could get into the 21st century at some point and actually put this down electronically instead of writing it down by hand, but it's just one more thing to juggle, what with tablets and stuff, going to sleep and all. But you might, it's better for you to go, I think, check it out so that I don't describe it incorrectly. But it looks like quite a lot of fun. There's a fuel mechanic in it, so you go down, transport to a surface, and you've got oxygen, so you can go explore the surface for minerals and other loot, which is randomly generated. But then you've only got a certain amount of oxygen, so you got to keep sending your guy back to his shuttle to gain more oxygen, which limits the amount of the distance that you can walk. That kind of thing. There's also all kinds of indigenous aliens that are there to make your life miserable. Also in space, you have a fuel mechanic, so you have to find a starbase and make sure you don't stray too far without having fuel and other supplies to go, ready to go. So it's pretty cool. I'm hoping to get a video up of it so you can actually have something to look at. They are at $4,415 out of the $5,000 that they were looking for. So they're pretty close. They just need another little boost to get to their goal, and they've got 10 days left. So hopefully they can make it. Beyond that, there's a couple stretch goals that they have listed. $5,001. You get gamepad support, which would be nice. At $6,000, they're looking for an auto explore bot, which would certainly help with some of the planetary missions that I've played so far off camera. And for $6,500, they're doing a detailed modding guide if they make it to that stretch goal. Because the game is modifiable. It's just there might not be you kind of have to dig in a little bit to find out how to do it. This would be giving him a chance to, or giving the developer a chance to actually write out a full guide of it. That's awesome. So let me get on to some of the other Kickstarters before I run too low on time here. It looks like I've been going for about 34 minutes, and I intend to go for about an hour today, so let's see what happens. So two Kickstarter items that I've been looking at and following that I haven't, and I've also been following them on IndieDB, but I haven't actually gotten around to talking about them yet. One of them is After Reset RPG. It's the best way I can describe it is Fallout 1 and 2. That's the best way I can describe it. It look and feel is very much similar. It has sort of a what was the name of that system? I can't remember it. The character attribute system. There's a specific name for it, and an acronym for it, and it escapes me at the moment. So they are heavily inspired by that. So it's post-apocalyptic. Was it isometric? I think it was isometric. It might have been top-down. I don't recall. It's been a while since I looked at it. I looked at their Kickstarter page and I didn't actually dig in again to refresh my memory. I should have. But it's I'll just say, actually no, it is it's third person. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a third person RPG. Very much the Fallout type of universe, but not Fallout type of mechanics, gameplay mechanics. Different universe, but post-apocalyptic. Those kinds of things that you'd be interested in if you're into that kind of genre. I sort of am. I didn't play any of the Fallout games because I'm on again, off again when it comes to the post-apocalyptic genre of games, because they get kind of ridiculous in my mind a little bit. Genetic mutation this, genetic mutation that. Oh, I'm fighting mutated this, fighting mutated that. It's after a while it kind of all blends in and gets a little bit too generic for my taste. But if you're into that, here's another little taste of it. They are, however, of all the Kickstarters that are struggling, they are they've been struggling for a very long time. I don't think they've been having a lot of trouble trying to get the word out about it. They're at $42,546 right now, out of $500,000. Very, very large gap to fill. I'm gonna go out, or I'm sorry, $900,000 is their goal. That looked like a 5 for a minute there. I'm sorry. And they've got 10 days left, so it's I'm just gonna say better luck next time. But really, honestly, it is a really cool game. You might want to follow them on their IndieDB page. I'm sure they're going to keep on keeping on. It's just they came at a time when there were other very large Kickstarters going on that took the lion's share of the press, I'd say. And then another one that I've been following for a while, even before they were on Kickstarter, they were just on IndieDB. I actually downloaded two of their demos, two of their early builds, I should say. They're not really demos. Interstellaria. This is an interesting game. This is if you can think of FTL, where you had your sort of cutaway ship view, where you had your crew inside the ship, you direct them around, and you had like subsystems and all that stuff. Of course, the phone would go off while I'm trying to record. I specifically try to record later at night so that I won't get these telemarketing phone calls, but they're getting sneakier now. Anyway, what I was saying, in this game, it's sort of the cutaway ship model like you would see in FTL. You manage your crew, although it's cutaway in a sort of a different axis. FTL was cutaway at the top of the ship. This is cutaway like halfway through the ship. So you actually see your characters, from a sidelong view. And you manage their happiness and their health. And you manage their stations. You build stations on your ship and different various things they might need, like televisions and entertainment and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a little bit of The Sims, just just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. And I'm moving my fingers around as though you can, as though you can actually see me saying a tiny bit. And on top of that, so you have that, plus you have quests and like an open world type of mission structure where you can go off and stumble upon things, much like you could in FTL, just stumble upon events and other things of that nature. Factions and relations, dialogue, that kind of thing. Battles, which are interesting because you're fighting the battle from inside your ship. You're firing all the guns and all that stuff. It's interesting, and it's like an 8-bit style game, so there's no incredible mind-boggling graphics. It's just it's functional. Although, to be honest, when I was trying to read their stretch goals, I had to put my glasses on because the font is the old system font and it's very tiny. So they made me feel like the old man that I am while trying to read their Kickstarter page. In addition to that, that was one build that I played. The other build that I played, which was an earlier one, you also can beam down to planets, and then you do like a normal side-scrolling, 2D side-scrolling mission on planets where you just go around and you can fire your gun and pick up loot, and it's just like it's very much like a Mario Brothers platformer at that point, with the whole loot collection and stuff added on top of it. Really cool concept. I've been following them for a while. Their Kickstarter was successful, thankfully, because I really want to see this one happen as well. They're at 22,000. Is that 22? Yeah, $22,096 out of the 15 grand that they wanted. They've got 5 days left. Some of the stretch goals that they have ahead of them, if we can get them to 27,500. We get expanded alien territories. There are basically 3 more regions. There's three regions that they're of aliens in the game, and he's going to expand their, I guess, the amount of quests and loot and other things related to those regions. Either that or add 3 regions. I couldn't quite figure out which one it was. And then if we can get them to $38,500 in the next 5 days, an advanced reputation system will be put in where if you gain good reputation with a certain faction, you can gain special faction gear and also ships for that faction. So that sounds really awesome and really cool. And I'm going to be saying really awesome and really cool about 25 more times before this episode is over. I'm very, very self-conscious today. I'm trying my best to fix my vocal speechal patterns so that I'm not so freaking annoying. But I suspect it's going to take a very, very, very long time before that happens. Okay, so we've got the Kickstarter stuff done, so you can breathe a sigh of relief. That took me far longer than I really wanted it to, but I also don't want to make a 2-hour video here, so I've got about 15 minutes left, so let's try to prioritize what's left on my list here, which is quite long. In case you haven't noticed or realized by now, I am very ADD when it comes to games, and I have a lot of games that I jump between, which is why one of the reasons why I wanted to start recording stuff, because it'll at least let me focus on a few things and maybe complete some games for a change. So now, 2 more things that are coming up. These are dates that I have in my calendar. and hopefully others, you probably want to have these dates in your calendar as well. Starbound. Oh, Starbound. I have been waiting. I've been waiting patiently, as well as many other people have been. Starbound is, for those unaware, if you've been living under a rock, by part of the team that created Terraria, is in very much the same style as Terraria, which recently got, well, not recently, but fairly recently got a 1.2 update with a whole bunch of stuff in it, and I've been watching YouTubers play that left and right. I still haven't gone back to that. I played that for about 6 hours and kind of gave up on it because I was having trouble. I played the very old version, the 1.0 version, before they fixed some of the graphics, and I had trouble, seeing the difference between ores and all that stuff, so I kind of gave up on it and never really went back. But Starbound I am looking forward to. It's in the same vein, except it's space. It's sci-fi. It's you get onto a ship and you can go to different planets and explore those planets and encounter all kinds of aliens and other creatures and different. There was a video out there where they encountered some, or screenshots where they encountered some towers and different various structures on planets, and go looting and all that fun stuff. All kinds of the stuff that you would expect from Terraria, which is the 2D version of Minecraft. If you haven't ever heard of Terraria, and I am basically using that as my explanation because that is really what it is. Except it's got more of a focus. Instead of focusing on the building aspects, it's focused a lot on the mobs and the action part of it, killing things. So, bang, that is coming out this Wednesday, December 4th. So I am waiting for it. That's the beta. You can still go on their website. You can also go onto Steam. They're on Steam Early Access. And pick up the beta. In fact, if I remember correctly, I looked earlier, they are participating in the Steam Autumn sale thing, so I think it's like 20% off right now to get into the early access. So you might want to go check it out because it's normally $15 or $20. It's $15 normally. For the low tier, the pixel tier, and I think that's on sale, so go take a look at that. Also, another game that I've been following, Rodina. It's a space sim, fighter pilot, privateer-esque game, with the added bonus of it's an open world. And you've got seamless transitions between space and planets. So it's the graphics, from what I can tell, are not, they're not going to blow your mind away. They are flat shaded, well, ground shaded polygons. But it does have that sort of Star Fox-y feel to it. Because it's the ground shaded polygons. So I find that appealing myself because I love the original Star Fox game for the Super Nintendo when I played it. So this has that very similar graphics to that, but it's a space trader, combat, type of system, like a privateer type of thing. So you might want to go check that out. That is going to go on sale for the first time December the 13th, Friday the 13th, so of December. So you may want to go over there and look at it. All right, wow, a whole lot of stuff. I want to take a bit of a breath here. We've accomplished quite a bit actually in the game too. I've gone through and conquered two excuse me. Conquered two quest items here. So Mikano Palace and believe the ruins of Anlon there. Yep. So we've done some good stuff. I think obviously I'm going to head off towards those other ones in the corner there, I think, at some point. But right now I'm going to head back to the city and try to collect myself a little bit here. I finally hit over 1,000 as far as health goes, so that's fun times here. And I'm at level 41, so I'm feeling pretty damn awesome for the first time I think ever in this game. I'm feeling pretty damn awesome. Still not sure about the crossbow, the purple one that I picked up. I think the other one, even though it's like gold, a gold star one, I don't know if the gold star is better than the purple, but it certainly looked like it. So I might end up switching back to that, just because it has a little bit better stuff on it. I mean, I switched over to the purple one because it's a higher level. I think it was like 60, or a higher power level. I think it was power 60, I think. And I had some soul shardy thingy majiggers cubes that dropped that were for that level. I have a ton of them that aren't that level, but I had a few for that level, and I thought, you know what, why don't I just put them on there? Because my other one is only power 53, I think, and I don't have any cubes for that anymore, so the only thing I can really do is upgrade it with wood cubes, which don't do much. So that's sort of my reasoning behind it. I thought maybe I could get this purple one up higher, to a higher level, because it's already a high level, but we'll see. I also tried to respec it, you know, at the respec guy, but it cost, I think, 23,000 platinum coins, which obviously I don't have. So I'll just keep it around and see what happens. Alright, what else? I have so many things on my list here. Since I talked a little bit earlier about FTL, there was an announcement that FTL Advanced Edition will be coming out early next year, early 2014. New weapons, new subsystems, new music, and new quests will be added, and it's free DLC. So you can't beat that at all with a stick or otherwise. I've played FTL. I played it before I had a YouTube channel, so I don't have anything recorded for it. And I don't really think I want to go back and record anything, because until this advanced edition comes out, because it's been done to death right now and by plenty of YouTubers, and I've got so many other things on my list that it seems better for me to just wait for the advanced edition to come out and then go back and play it then and record it then. So that's what I will do, and that is on my ever-growing list of things that I wish to share with you. What else we got going on here? I'm trying to pick off the interesting ones from the list here so that I don't fall too far behind on them. I got an update for Ethereum. The beta hasn't been updated yet, but there was an update from their Kickstarter recently. Ethereum is another game I've been waiting for. Space combat, first-person space combat, Wing Commander style game. And the update was basically saying that there's new high-res backgrounds being developed for it. The developer has completed the first 9 chapters as far as the missions go and the basic story elements go, but he doesn't have the full story fleshed out yet. In fact, he said that he's going to wait until he gets everything else fleshed out to actually flesh out some of the side parts of the story. He's got the main bits done, just not the side dialogue. And some comm chatter he was working on, and he's got a new character artist working. So good updates going on there. Can't wait. Cannot wait for that. We'll definitely be recording that when it comes out. I have been waiting actually to see if he would release another beta with the mission simulator, but that hasn't, as far as I know, hasn't materialized yet. I do have one that has the mission simulator right now, the build that I have right now, but it was supposed to be expanded a little bit and fixed a little bit with a new cockpits and stuff. But I haven't seen that materialize yet, so hopefully that'll be coming soon. Because I would like to do a video of that at least before the full game comes out. And I've been looking at a couple things here. So I tried to get into Trove, which is a new. It's by a company called Tryon, which has done a couple of games people might recognize, but I did not write them down, so I'm not gonna say which ones because I'm probably gonna say the wrong ones. But Trove kind of hit the Cube World subreddit like a ton of bricks. Not that that's anything but a wretched hive of scum and villainy anymore, but it is essentially Cube World, Trove, as far as visual goes, with the exception of it. The visuals in Trove look a little bit uglier. Well, actually, a lot uglier, because they're black outlines around everything. They try to make it look like it was a pencil drawing dealio. So I have tried to get into that. It's Cube World from that perspective, from the visual perspective, only crappier visual perspective. But it also brings into it the Minecraft stuff. So there is building blocks. You do mine. You do build stuff, build structures. You also go off and fight monsters, and I believe that there are generated, generated areas, just like in Cube World, where you can go and I know that there's biomes, but I think there's generated structures. Is the word I was looking for. Like in Cube World, I believe that you can go fight monsters in. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure yet. I haven't actually got in to actually play it because it is a closed alpha. I put my name in for it. We'll see what happens. I didn't put any money up for it yet, though, so I didn't manage to push myself up into the line. I don't know that I will put any money in for it until I see some more out of it. And I'm not keen on the whole closed alpha thing. Honestly, I'd be more likely to put money into it if it was an open alpha, or not. Well, an open from the perspective of early access, where you can put $10 down and then that gets you early access to it. Probably right now it's so early on that they're doing closed alpha because they don't have the servers to handle the load, which is probably what it comes down to. But and it is multiplayer only as far as I can tell. So yeah, I can see the reasoning as a developer. I can see the reasoning, or as a programmer, I should say. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see if I end up getting an invite to that or not. And what we got here? All right. Yeah, I'm just looking around here what I need to do next with all my stuff. Another freebie game that I came across on Reddit. Actually, it was on. I think it was posted on our indie gaming or something similar to that. Maybe Play My Game or one of those things. It's called Data Jack. It's free. You can get it on Desora. It's free downloadable. Um, one developer, single developer, 8-bit kind of style, which seems to be all the rage recently. It's a take on, it's isometric, and it's a take on cyberpunky sort of like a Deus Ex type of thing, which the developer says he was really inspired by Deus Ex, but it's sort of that, so it's sort of that cyberpunky type of thing. RPG elements, point and click, essentially. You walk around the world and do various things. It's open world ish, I believe. I don't know if it's fully, but it's at least an ish at the end of that. I started to play a little bit of it. I just didn't get very far in it, so I can't say much beyond what I saw initially. Other than it is 640 by 480, and that's the only resolution it comes in, so kind of small on my screen. It was pretty much postage stamp sized. So I had to actually, it's one of those games I had to put my glasses on to actually read the text for. So just so you know before you get into there, it is kind of tiny, but it's also free, so yeah, you can't really complain. At least I can't. Oh, and some more. Speaking of some more blasts from the past here, I've been looking at, and I need to download this. I haven't. I think I can download this. I think there's a demo of this, but I haven't actually looked at it yet. Neon Excesses, or as it's spelled XSZ, but it's pronounced Excesses according to their website. Neon Excesses. This is a take on the old Descent games. Sort of 6 Degree of Freedom, space fighter combat thingamajobber. And there we go with the thingamajobber again. But it's combined. First of all, it's a cyberspace thing, so you're basically a computer flying around in computers, fighting viruses, and you might be a virus too. I'm not sure. They're kind of ambiguous about it. And you can decide, whether you want to be a good virus or a bad virus. There's such a thing. And it's, again, descent mechanics combined with like the looting system from Diablo. So there's generated loot, as well as procedural generation of the world, just like the original Diablo, which procedurally generated as dungeons, I believe, not the entire world, but I think this is the entire world. And it's RPG elements with the open world mechanics as well. So I'm going to go download that after this and see if I can take a look at it. And I'll leave links to their website in the description as always. All right. I think I have time for just one more thing here. Let me just, I'm over my hour limit here, but I'm just going to do one more thing because I'm cleaning up my inventory while we do this. Another game that I'm starting to look at is called Pixel Piracy. This very much reminds me of Terraria, only if Terraria was a piracy sim. I've downloaded it. I tried to play it, and I don't understand any of it. It's a wiki game, from what I can tell. So just like Minecraft, where they just kind of throw you in there and they're like, have fun, and you don't really understand what you need to do, other than something with looting and plundering. So I'm going to have to do some research on that and see what exactly I'm supposed to do. Maybe watch some videos of somebody else. And if I like what I see, you'll probably see a video on it. Ooh, splendid linen chest armor, huh? Ooh, that is spiffy. Wolframs. Oh, that's actually it's named after the developer, Wolfram, or Wally. So, interesting. I wonder how rare a drop that is. That's yeah, maybe it's not that rare. Maybe it's just I happen to get that generate name. Huh, cool. Well, it's mine now. Damn it! You'll pry it off my cold dead hands. Oh, okay. So, Pixel Piracy. You might want to go check that out. That is it. Again, Starbound Terraria. Very much the visual stylings of that. The 2D building piracy sim. Um, you grab a crew. You go pluting. Wow, I just made a word. You go looting and plundering. I just combined two words together. That's just where my mind is right now. And if I can figure the game out, I will show more of it, provided that is possible for me to figure it out. All right, I feel like I've covered a bunch of things, and yet there are so many things on my list here that I have not covered. But I don't want to turn this into a 2-hour video, so uh, you've seen sort of what I've done here. We got made quite a bit of progress. I'm up to level 41. It's going quite well. Just selling off some of my stuff here that I just don't need. And what do I want to do with this silver ring? Yeah, I'll get rid of it. Screw it. And is there anything else? I'm just kind of keeping a lot of this stuff in my inventory here just to... I really, 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 really want Wally to add the building mechanics where you can get blueprints and build a house where I can just put my stuff in. And I'm hoping as part of that you can have like dummies to put armor on and stuff like that just to as display, because I really want that. All right, so I've rambled on for long enough for one day. Thank you for watching, everybody, and check out all the links in the description, and I will see you in the next episode.